back to our channel. Today it's just me, so that means it's going to be a nursing related video, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. I thought about doing different types of nursing videos, and this one particularly is going to be about how to study, what I use to study, how I like organize my binders and stuff like that, and I will be showing you all my little tips and tricks. If you haven't seen our last video, go ahead and go watch it. It's my 21st birthday like celebration, like what we did. Jakaya surprised me by doing like the sweetest stuff ever, and it was a really great night. So, and I looked really cute, so not to like boast or anything, but so go ahead and watch that video. I will put either a card up here or a link in the description so it's easy to find and it's accessible. So make sure you go watch that video. So if you're new to our channel, I'm Kimmy and my boyfriend is Jakaya, and we do couple videos together. We do a lot of challenges and vlogs and stuff like that. So if you guys like couple channels and are into couple channels, hopefully you like our videos and everything. And if you do, don't forget to subscribe before you leave and leave us a comment. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I'm going to start out with how I organize myself and what I use to organize and divide my stuff up. So this is my lecture binder. I divide my binders up into tests, and this semester we have 3 different tests. So this is my second binder because we already took our first test, and I basically just print everything for every module of this like test or whatever. I print it all out and put it in here in dividers. So these are some little tabs that I use. They're called Ultra Tab 2-sided writable smudge free tabs, and you can take them off of any page or anything and they don't rip, which is literally like so cool to me. And they're really good quality, like they're sturdy and everything. I got these in my bookstore at school. I don't know where you can find them, probably Amazon, because I've tried Office Depot and stuff like that and they don't have them. So if you want something like this, I would just check Amazon. But I use this in my textbook and like in my binder to divide my dividers up, if that makes any sense. I found that this semester is generous in ways that we can study, but you have to figure out what way is best for you. So for me, this is how I organize, and then I study off of how I organize, if that makes any sense. So first tab I have, this is my PowerPoint tab, and you'll see the tabs right here. I divide each PowerPoint like week 1, week 2, week 3. That way I know. I can just like flip to that tab and be like, oh, I want that PowerPoint. And if you guys can also tell, I take notes on each like slide or whatever. I print out the handout and I do 2-sided. So that way I can go back and take notes and study from the PowerPoints or anything important that the professor might have said. So I do that and make sure I highlight plenty of stuff. Okay, so the next tab I have is the chapter objectives. So just like with the PowerPoints, each PowerPoint comes with a list of objectives and readings that we're supposed to do. So I print all of them out for the modules for test 2, and this is kind of what they look like. So it has like what we read and what chapters and all that stuff. I don't know how well you can see it, but this is basically kind of what they look like, and it just gives us websites and study tips on here. So that's something I use to study too and read. Next tab I have, this is actually study material. So it's like with every module, they give us, say for one of our things is communication. So they give us like study pages and like questions, multiple choice quizzes and stuff like that, that we can do and test on to make our knowledge grow better, I guess. So that's what this tab is. And again, I have the little tabbies on these pages to separate them and divide them up. The next tab I have is LAP. I don't know if any other school does these, but these are basically just learning activity packets, and they're just adding on to the knowledge that we already gained from the chapter that we read that it's associated with. So this one is about aging adults, and it gives us, like this one personally gives us like a table and some multiple choice and stuff like that. And then I have a tab for notes if I take any specific notes that I might want. Loose leaf paper, and then test 2 prep. So this is a big list of objectives and like what we need to know for this test. Basically, when I'm sitting down to study, I just go through each one of these questions and basically figure out the answer for each, and I study those, and that pretty much does it for the test. But that is the notebook so far, and it's really simple. I just normally put like test 2 right here, and then this is what it looks like front and back. So just real simple, and it's light. That way you don't have a huge binder full of stuff for every test. I think that's easier for me. So let's see for this class. The textbook itself and the study guide it comes with. So this is a study guide. It's just a little thick book, or thin book, I'm sorry. And it basically has, it breaks down everything that's in this book because this book has a lot of fluff. So this is the book that I use to basically review and go over all of the important things we need to know. And inside this book, what I do is I tab them. So again, these are all the chapters for one module that we're in right now, and I'm gonna look over all of these chapters and then go back to this book and like identify key concepts and like things that are pinpoint that we need to know. So that's what I do with these 2 textbooks. And then there's this book from ATI called Content Mastery, and I don't know if your school does it, but our school gives us a whole like box of ATI books, and this one literally breaks down a whole entire chapter into a few pages, and it gives you points about, like for this chapter, let's just say health promotion, it gives you a little paragraph about immunizations and nutrition, and then like it just breaks everything down really simple, and I like that. And then at the end it gives you like a study guide and review questions, which is cool, and it also gives you answers to check them, of course. But this I've heard helps a lot of people, and I utilize this every now and then, but I do like it. So that's what I use to study, which is all this. And then sometimes I make note cards too of everything I've kind of learned from this book. For example, I'll take like definitions or certain concepts and write them on note cards and then study them from this. A little update on how nursing school is going. It is going pretty good so far. I passed our first test. We have pop quizzes. We have 6 pop quizzes, and I think we've taken 2 or 3 of them. I'm not sure, but they're just like at the end of a lecture, the teachers ask us if we have a question, and then they're like, well, we have questions for you, and they give us a test. Clinicals. Let's talk about clinicals. So for me, clinicals started this last week, and I'm at a nursing home, and we are starting to do like assessments on our patients, and at the end of our clinical day, we sit down and have like a talk about how we felt about the day, what we learned, what we didn't like, what our overall like grade is for the day, like say 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10, whatever we felt like we accomplished for the day. And then that gives us a good idea how to like reflect on what we learned and what we didn't learn and what we hope to learn next week. And then at the end of the weekend, Monday, we have a self-evaluation due, which is really just like the basis of what we learned, how we learned it, different aspects of what we learned, and what we hope to learn next week. And so it's pretty simple, but it's not bad. I'm actually starting to get the hang of things. I think there's just a lot of study tips and study materials that like I don't know what to do with them, but I just recommend studying from this little book and making note cards from it, because this is going to give you basic things that you need and not all the extra fluff, along with the study questions. Like if your teachers give you any type of material, use that material because they're giving it to you for a reason. I really think that if they're giving you something, that it's important to study it because they know what's on the test, they make the test, and especially in lecture, if they say something twice, highlight it, write stars next to it, make sure you know it because it's obviously going to be on the test somehow in some way. So let's talk about the test. So the test we had was 60 questions, and of course it's multiple choice. Some are short answer. Some of them you have to think about critically, but you want to make sure you read the question and read it again, like double read it. And even when you go to answer the question, go back and read it again to see if your answer makes any sense. I know I missed a few questions that I could have gotten right if I just would have read it again and like taken a little bit more time on it. But overall, I feel like it's just basic knowledge, and you have to know your stuff. Like, you have to study and know your stuff to get what the question is asking you, but it's not hard. I don't know anything else that I do, so I hope that that stuff kind of helped you guys, gave you guys some pointers if you're still a little bit lost or confused about how to study. And I really hope that this method of organizing yourself helped, because at first I had a huge binder, like huge, with everything in it for test 1, test 2, test 3. And that's a lot, like that's overwhelming when you see all of those papers in one binder, to me personally. But I feel like separating your binders by test 1, test 2, and test 3 is a lot more helpful, because it's thin for one. You're not carrying on a huge binder just for one class. And it kind of breaks everything down to where all you have to do is flip it to a certain page. Like, you just open it and you're like, oh, that's from the first week. Okay, cool, that's from the second week, whatever. And you can just pull it out and just pop it back in without a problem. So I feel like this is really helpful. I hope you guys think this is helpful too. But if you have any comments or any suggestions or any questions for me even, you can leave them in the comment section and I will respond to them. And I hope you guys like this video. If you do, don't forget to leave a thumbs up before you go and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.